Hi, Dominic Hurst here, and I am just doing this short recording to introduce those of you who've not used QMPlus, the Queen Mary virtual learning environment. I wanted to introduce you just to basically how to get into it and how to get to the evidence-based dentistry site, the Global Epidemiology and Evidence-Based Dentistry site that I've set up within QMPlus for staff to try and help facilitate the use of more evidence, particularly in clinical decision making. And so this is not going to go into any detail on that, but just to show you how to get into QMPlus. You will need to have your QM login, and I think most people are automatically logged into QMPlus. So I don't think anything else would be required, but if need be, perhaps Ben Roberts or myself could help you out. So the first thing to do is just to find the site, and it's called qmplus.qmul.ac.uk, and this brings you to a login page here. Click login. There's my login details there automatically, and so this will be your, I forgot what they call this term now, but it's not your actual name, but the I think it's the IMAP number that you use to log into computer systems. And then you just press login, and then within QMPlus there are various different features, different ways of using it, but just for the purposes of getting to the evidence-based dentistry site, on the left hand side you'll see a list of different courses that you're subscribed to. There are some that you're probably also subscribed to here, like the dentistry generic information. That's got all information about timetables and handbooks for students and so on. And down in there somewhere you should see this one, Global Epidemiology and Evidence-Based Dentistry for Staff. And that's it really. You just need to click on that, and then that's the site I've just created, and I will continue developing as feedback comes in about what people need and so on. There's an announcements bit here which I will use rarely because I don't want to flood everybody's email inboxes, but there's also an area here for forums, a forum for people to sort of add questions and discuss things. In here, if you want to be subscribing to the forum so that if you put a question in there you can automatically get the answers and the discussions around it fed to your inbox, so you don't have to keep checking the forum itself. On the left hand side here you can subscribe to the forum. As you can see, I've already subscribed, so therefore I can only unsubscribe, so you can choose to do that as well. And then the course itself as such, I mean, I have to set it up as a course in QMPlus. That's the way it's organised. And so I've got a topic here on the rationale and the basics of evidence-based dentistry. Not too much there, but just some reading for those interested. And then the basic approach that I've taken through the rest of it is to use the evidence-based practice process of asking a question, which is here, and just demonstrating how PICO questions work and why we use them. Then searching for evidence, which is the next stage. And there's a presentation here from Paula Funnell, who's our academic liaison librarian at Whitechapel. That's just teaching people how to use different Boolean characters to combine searches and so on. There are just a few links here, so if you click on these to different sort of search places, Trip Database, NICE, NHS Evidence from NICE, Cochrane Library, Scopus, but there's also Web of Science, of course. And then there's a section here, so this is the third stage in the EBD or EBP process, which is to assess and critically appraise the quality of the research that was found when you searched. That just gives some links through to some tools to help us do that in a structured way, and a couple of articles by Derek Richards on critically appraising randomized controlled trials and systematic reviews. And then the fourth stage of evidence-based practice is to implement it and to change the way we manage our patients. And so here what I'm trying to do is to get the students to go away and bring research into the clinical forum, so using what's called an educational prescription. These are used quite commonly around the world in dental schools and medical schools and postgraduate training as well. So just a couple of presentations there, one that I gave to the to staff who were there at the curriculum day. And then finally just rounding off with just some of the difficulties of implementing evidence into practice, just some background reading there, fully accepting that the process is not a linear one as a lot of people would like to believe, and so although we follow this linear structure, the actual adoption of new research and implementation of new research is often a very slightly chaotic and haphazard event. And so anyway, there's some sort of help there on how we might bring about changes. So that's it really. It was just to show you how you might get into QMPlus, and there are various other things you can do here, which I won't go into massively. But for example, you can join groups in my QMPlus, which is a kind of a more social sort of area. So there are different groups that you can join, and yeah, and various other settings. So I encourage you to explore it.